place of supply of goods and place of supply of services. Section 10 and section 11 talking about place of supply of goods. Whereas section 12 and section 13 talking about place of supply of services. My dear lovable students, place of supply of services is the target in that section 12 is the target domestic services, correct?
Yes, sir.
Which is applicable now for both inter and also for final, whereas section 13 is applicable only for
Final.
section 12.1 applicability, 12.2 general provision, 12.3 services relating to immovable property, boat or vessel, 12.4 for services, 12.5 training or performance appraisal services, 12.6 12.7 12.8 transportation of goods, 12.9
Transportation of passengers.
12.10 services supplied on board, 12.11 telecommunication services, 12.12 financial and stockbroking services, 12.13 insurance services, and 12.14. I'm moving into 12. Section 12 is a big thing, big slot. We have classified section 12 into 5 categories, correct?
Yes, sir.
Number 1, we'll be talking about applicability in 12.1 and 12.2. Services relating to immovable property, boat or vessel are covered in 12.3, and performance-based services are 12.4, 12.5, 12.6, 12.7. Transportation services 12.8, 12.9 and 12.10. Other services are 12.11, 12.12, 12.13 and 12.14. Shall we?
Yes, sir.
So we are going to talk about, sir, applicability of section 12. If both the service provider and service recipient are situated in India, rendu perume enga irukanga? Service provider and the service recipient, then the provisions of section 12 will be applicable. Section 12, sir, is talking about the domestic services, correct?
Yes, sir.
So in order to apply section 12, both the service provider and service recipient should be situated in India. So section 12 contains the provision for determination of place of supply of service where both the location of the supplier and the location of the recipient are in
India.
If either of the two persons, that is supplier or recipient, is in
Outside.
place of supply is determined by section 13, correct?
Yes,
So if both the people are situated in India, we have to follow provision 12. Sir, if one of the person is situated outside India, we have to follow section
13.
Clear? The section 12 apply to domestic supply of services because both service provider and service recipient are situated in section 12 laid down say NO rule, general rule to determine the enough supply,
Place of supply.
as well as for few other rules to determine place of supply of certain specific services. Actually, the order of section 12 is 12.1 is the applicability, 12.2 is the general rule, correct?
Yes, sir.
If the service is covered under 12.3 to 12.14, my dear lovable students, hello,
Yes, sir.
then we have to follow that specific rule of 12.3 to 12.14. If 12.3 to 12.14 are not applicable, then the provisions of
12.2 will be
applicable. The place of supply is determined as per NO rule, general rule in respect of service other than the one covered by NO rule.
specific rule.
Up a specific rule irukana, specific rule will be applicable, otherwise general rule will be applicable. It is also important to note that in many cases section provide different place of supply for service supply to registered and a person.
Registered.
We are classifying into registered person and
Unregistered.
but this classification we can't see in section 13 because section 13 is one of the person is situated outside India. So anga registered and unregistered irukadu ana section 12 la rendu perume enga irukradanaala sir one person will be in a sir registered or unregistered. Fine, fantastic to the core. What is section 12.1? Applicability. If both the service provider and service recipient are situated in India, provisions of section
12 will be applicable.
I'm going to talk about section 12.2 which are general provision, right?
Yes, sir.
Sir, even for section 12.2 one applicability is there, sir. The service is not covered under 12.3 to 12.14, then only the provisions of section
12.2 will be applicable.
will be applicable. This is the applicability of 12.2. This section is applicable only if the supply of service does not fall in any of the specified cases provided under what? 12.3 to
12.14.
sir, you have to check, sir, we are having general provision, correct?
Yes, sir.
Thumb rule is that whether the service has been provided to a registered person or service has been provided to a if the service has been provided to a registered person, location of such person, that is a thumb rule, correct?
Yes, sir.
Whereas if the service has been provided to a
Unregistered.
person, we have to check whether the address is available on record, address is not available on record. If the address is available on record, location of the Whereas address is not available on record, then location of the supplier of the services. Location of the
Supplier of the service.
services. This is what section 12.2 is all about. What is 12.1?
Applicability.
Applicability. If both the service provider and service recipient are situated in India, then the provisions of section 12.1 will be applicable. What is 12.2? General provision. In order to apply 12.2, the service should not be covered under 12.3 to 12.14. Right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Sir, what is the general provision? Check whether the service has been provided to a registered person or
Unregistered
if
person.
it has been provided to a registered person,
Location of such person.
location of such person. If it is provided to a
Unregistered.
unregistered person, you have to check whether the address is available, address is not available. Address is available,
Location of the recipient.
location of the recipient. If the address is not available, location of the where vadi illa illaya. I'm moving into 12.3 man. Sir, services relating to immovable property, boat or vessel. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Since it is, sir, place of supply relating to three things, that is why it is 12.3. Right?
Yes, sir.
So 12.3, services relating to immovable property, boat or vessel. Place of supply is the location where the immovable property or boat or vessel is situated or intended to be situated. Right?
Yes, sir.
So for that, actually 4 things we are talking about. Direct services, services by way of lodging and accommodation for organizing any function or any ancillary services referred about. Right?
Yes, sir.
We are having direct services, man. Service directly in relation to any property, including service provided by of architects or interior decorators, surveyors, engineers and other related experts and estate. Right? These guys are directly providing services to immovable property. Who are those guys? Professionals. Number 1, architect, interior decorators, surveyors, engineers, other related experts or any services provided by granting of right to use in a property. So you are having an immovable property, you are allowing some other person to use the immovable property is also a direct service relating to immovable property, right? Or for carrying out or coordination of any work, construction work, you are allowing some other builder to construct a building, that is also a direct services. Pakka?
Yes, sir.
Now the immovable property is ready by doing the direct services, correct? Now what you are going to do with that NSR immovable property? You are giving by way of lodging accommodation, by a hotel, in guest house, homestay, club, campsite or by whatever name called, and including a houseboat or any other vessel. So you are first getting the direct services. Now the immovable property is ready. That immovable property you are giving for accommodation, correct?
Yes, sir.
And now, sir, so many people started accommodated there. Hello, sir. In that property, immovable property, then many people will meet each other. They may like each other. They may say that I love you, sir. Hello, sir. So by way of accommodation in any immovable property for organizing any marriage or resumption or matters relating thereto. So there may be some matters also happening in that immovable property, or official relating to social, cultural, religious or any function, business function, including service provided in relation to such function at such property. So this is how the story goes. Are you really with me? At that time, sir, now the immovable property is ready. By providing the direct services, people start taking accommodation. Many people meet each other. They said that I love you to each other. They got married also. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Now they have to proceed their life. For that, my dear lovable students, any other ancillary services are also required. So any ancillary services to the service referred to in class A or class B or class C. Sir, I hope that the Sahil will be very happy to, sir, hear section 12.3, because this is a story related to the student called as Sahil online. You also understand that, right? Because he's very, sir, need of marriage, right? So, the place of supply is the location of the immovable property or boat or vessel is situated or intended to be situated is the place of supply, right?
Yes, sir.
Sir, since section 12, if both the service provider and service recipient are situated, then only provisions of section 12 will be applicable, right?
Yes, sir.
But sir, since the place of supply is the place of supply of the immovable property is located or intended to be located, hello? Sometimes service provider may be situated in India and service recipient may be situated in India, and the immovable property may be situated or intended to be situated outside India. So since both the source and the ending is situated in India, but the immovable property is situated outside India, government may lose the revenue, right?
Yes, sir.
So they have insert an explanation saying that if the location of the immovable property, boat or vessel is located or intended to be located outside India, then don't see location of the immovable property, see location of the recipient of service. That means we want GST. Are you all really with me?
Yes, sir.
Because we don't want to lose GST, because this is the case of section 12, my dear lovable students. So section 12 is saying that since both the persons are situated in India, we want GST, right?
Yes, sir.
Sir, this is not an amendment. I will not say that this is not an amendment. This is an addition which has been made by the ICA. They were having some issue. They have clarified that issue. I will read that. Patako. Place of supply in case of supply of service in relation to any sector. Advertising sector. Today advertising is growing like anything, right? Yes, sir. And advertising have something to do with the immovable property also. Something to do with the, because sir, many advertisements are attached with the property. Immovable property. So they are giving an issue and they are clarifying. Advertising company are often involved in procuring space on hoarding, billboards erected and mounted on building or land in different states from various suppliers, vendors for providing advertising service to its end clients, corporate clients. For example, sir, if you see KPMG is there. It is one of the biggest building. Hello, sir. Yes, sir. Sir, on the top of KPMG, sir, we are going to keep ANM Classes, the ultimate destination for CA students. My intention is anyone who are traveling through that route should be able to see what? ANM Classes. So, like this, some many company, advertising company will book the spaces, and to their corporate clients like ANM Classes, GRP Jewelers, Malabar Jewelers, like these people, they will book the slot. Hello, sir.
Yes, sir.
And they will be, sir, put their hoardings, very big hoardings. So there may be variety of arrangement between the advertising company and its vendors as follows. This was the issue number 1, and this clarification has been given, my dear lovable students. This is issue number 2, and this clarification has been given, my dear lovable students. Hello.
Yes,
so what was the issue? Sir, there may be a case wherein there is a supply, that is enough space, sale of space, or supply, sale of right to use the space on hoarding structure, that is enough property, belonging to the vendor, to the yark or any company, for display of their advertisement on the said hoarding or what? Structure. What will be the place of supply of service provided by the vendor to the advertising company in such case? What they are asking? No, for example, a big building is there. Example like KPMG. So in the top of KPMG, they are having a big advertising space. You would have to see the big boards, correct? So they are actually providing that to the either to the clients or to the corporate companies who are advertising companies, correct? For that, whether you will be finding out the place of supply by applying 12.2, because 12.2 is the provision, general provision, or will you treat it as 12.3? Sir, why it is 12.3? Sir, it is services relating to any property? Immovable property. Hello, sir. So this confusion is going on. So they are clarifying this confusion, sir. This is a clarification. The hoarding or structure erected on land should be considered as in a structure or fixture as it have been embedded in the earth. Sometimes, sir, in the roadside எல்லாம் பாத்தீனா நாலு கால் கொடுத்துட்டேன்னா வந்து ஒரு பெரிய ஒரு பேனர் போட்டு வச்சிருப்பாங்க, கரெக்ட்டா? அதையும் நீங்க என்ன ப்ராப்பர்ட்டியா தான் ட்ரீட் பண்ணணும்? இம்மூவபிள் ப்ராப்பர்ட்டியா தான் ட்ரீட் பண்ணணும். நான் சொல்றப்ப இந்த சம்டைம்ஸ் இந்த ஏஸ் வண்டி இருக்கும் பாரு, அதுல வந்து ஒரு பேனர் பின்னாடி போட்டு ஒரு வண்டி இப்படி போடிட்டே இருக்கும் ஃபுல் டைம், கரெக்ட்டா? அது இம்மூவபிள் ப்ராப்பர்ட்டியா ட்ரீட் பண்ணணும்னு சொல்லல. நான் எதை சொல்றேன்னா ஹோர்டிங் போட்டு அடிச்சு வைக்கிறாங்க, ஒரே இடத்துல நிக்கும், அதை என்ன ட்ரீட் பண்ணணும்னு சொல்றாங்க. So further, place of supply of any service provided by way of supply, that is sale of space of any property or grant of right to use an immovable property, shall be governed by the provision of section 12 subsection 3 clause A of the Act. IGST Act. As per section 12 subsection 3 clause A of the IGST Act, place of supply of service directly in relation to an property, including service provided by architect, interior decorators, surveyors, engineers and other related experts or any agent. Any service provided by a grant of right to use immovable property, hello, or for carrying out or coordination of construction work shall be location at which the immovable property is located, right? Therefore, the place of supply of service provided by a sale of supply of space on hoarding or structure for advertisement or grant of right to use the hoarding or structure for advertising in this case would be the location where such hoarding or structure is located. This is there in the statutory update which has been released by ICA. The same can be coined as a question where what is the place of supply of the hoardings. Sometimes you will check the list, okay, 12.1, okay, 12.2, okay, 12.3 to 12.14, it is not covered. So let me go with 12.2. Hello, sir. If you are going with 12.2 for hoardings, they will say that it is not 12.2, you have to come for second time. Hello sir, no sir, it is not 12.2 sir, it is sir 12.3. It is will be treated as service relating to immovable property. Concept clear?
Yes sir.
Okay man. அப்படின்னா ஒரே வார்த்தையில சொல்லணும்னா நீங்க ஹோர்டிங்ஸ் வச்சீங்கன்னா நீங்க அத நீங்க பிளேஸ் ஆஃப் சப்ளை எந்த செக்ஷன்ல பார்க்கணும்? 12.3 ல பார்க்கணும். எங்க ஹோர்டிங்ஸ் வைக்கிறீங்களோ அதுதான் அதோட. That's it. No, nothing to scratch our head. I am moving into issue number 2, my dear lovable students. There may be another case where the advertising company want to display its advertisement on hoarding or billboards at a specific location, availing the service of what? Vendor. The responsibility of arranging the hoarding or billboard lies with the architect, who may himself own such structure or maybe taking it or rent or rights to use basis from another person. The vendor is responsible for display of the advertisement company at the inner location. During this entire time of display of advertisement, the vendor is in the possession of the what or what? At the said location on which dash is displayed. And the advertisement company is not occupying the space or structure. In this case, what will be the place of supply of such service provided by vendor to the inner company? For example, I am owning 25 sites in Chennai, top 25 sites in Chennai. What I am doing now, I am letting out that, I am renting out that to the advertising company. That advertising company is, sir, giving that to the airman clients. Hello, sir. Like this also, multiple chain of transactions also happening nowadays. Hello. Sir, in this case, is the service is being provided by the vendor to the advertising company, and there is no supply, sale of space or supply sale of rights to use the space on hoarding or structure, that is enna property? Immovable property by the vendor to the enna company for display of their advertisement on the said display board or structure. Said service does not amount to sale of enna space or supply by way of grant of right to use enna property. Accordingly, place of supply same shall not be covered under section 12 subsection 3 clause A of the Act. Vendor is in fact providing any services by providing visibility to a company. Advertising company's advertisement for a period of time on his structures are possessed or taken on rent by him at the location. Specified location. Therefore, such service provided by vendor to the company are purely in the nature of services, in respect of which place of supply shall be determined in terms of section 12(2) of the Act IGST. Sometimes நீங்க பாத்தீங்கன்னா ஒரு போர்டு போட்டுருப்பாங்க, சார் for advertisement contact this number அப்படினு போட்டுருப்பாங்க, ரைட்டா? So vendor is actually what they are doing, no, they are helping the advertisement company to get the advertisement, correct இல்லையா? Which is purely a advertisement service, purely a, it is not NSR immovable property related service. Difference புரியுதா? First one எப்படின்னா ஹோர்டிங் வைக்கிறாங்க, ஹோர்டிங் வைக்கும்போது அது பியூரா என்ன ஆயிடுது? immovable property ஆயிடுது. அதனால அது 12.3 ல விழுந்துருது, எங்க விழாது? விழாது. இப்போ இந்த டிரான்சாக்ஷன் எப்படின்னா முதல்ல யாருக்கு தரா? வெண்டார் வந்து அட்வர்டைஸ்மென்ட் கம்பெனிக்கு தராங்க, அட்வர்டைஸ்மென்ட் கம்பெனி வந்து கிளையன்ட்ஸ்க்கு தராங்க, ரைட்டா? அப்போ வெண்டார் கிட்ட இருந்து அட்வர்டைஸ்மென்ட் கம்பெனி என்ன பண்றாங்கன்னா போர்ட்ல ஃபார் அட்வர்டைஸ்மென்ட் கான்டாக்ட் திஸ் நம்பர் போட்டு வைக்கிறாங்க. So vendor is actually providing advertisement services. Advertisement service is not a specified services from 12.3 to 12.14, right? Yes sir. Then my dear lovable students, it has to be, sir, for determination of place of supply should be covered under 12.2. General provision will be applicable, 12.3 will not be. So this issues has been taken care, so that they may find the question based on this issue, and we may go wrong if you don't read this clarification, right? Yes, so one line summary of the entire discussion is, we can summarize like this, my dear lovable students. Advertisement services, yeah, classified into two category actually. யாருக்கு தரா? vendor வந்து advertisement company க்கு தராங்க, that is second one. First one யாருக்கு தரா? First clarification, first one, billboards, sir, there may be cases where supply or sale of space, or NSR supply sale of right to use the space on the dash or dash hoarding or structure belonging to the vendor, to the client or in a company for display of their advertisement on the said hoarding or structure. Correct? இப்போ நான் 4 கால் கொடுத்து என்ன வைக்கிறேன்னா hoardings வைக்கிறேன் இல்ல billboards வைக்கிறேன். Hello sir. It has to be treated as என்ன property? Immovable property. For that 12(3) provisions will be applicable. 12(2) provisions will not be applicable. அப்ப billboards or hoardings. That is sale of space. என்னது? The first one is sale of space or right to use the space. Right to use the space. If I am selling the space or right to use the space, hello sir, then 12(3) provisions will be applicable. 12(2) will not be applicable. Pakka?
Yes, sir.
Whereas the second one is, what is the issue? Yes sir, advertisement by the vendor. Advertisement by the vendor. Advertisement by vendor to any company? Advertising company. Then 12(2) will be applicable because that is purely an advertisement service. And 12(3) will not be applicable. So these are the latest amendment which has been added in the 12(3). Sir, from this they may what man coin the question. So with this 12(3) comes to an end. What is 12(1)? Applicability. What is 12(2)? General provision. What is 12(3)? Services relating to immovable property, boat or vessel. What is 12(4)? 4 services. What is 12(5)? Training and performance appraisal services. What is 12(6)? Events. What is 12(7)? Organization of events. Right? What is 12(8)? What is 12(9)? What is 12(10)? What is 12(11)? What is 12(12)? What is 12(13)? What is 12(14)? Advertisement to the government. Advertisement to the government. There it is advertisement to the government, not to the advertisement to the clients. Right? Sir, only if you are advertising to the government, it will be covered under 12(14). Otherwise, the general provisions of 12(2) will be applicable. Clarity?
Yes, sir.
Sir, my dear lovable students, those who have, sir, listened to my lecture either this time or last time or the old student or those who are going through the life, my dear lovable students, today I have a pakka revision of section 12 in full for 20 minutes. We'll be finish it off the 12 by tomorrow because today we have stuck up with 2 issues, clarifications given by CBDT. So otherwise we can finish it off very quickly. Sir, follow, if you are following the lectures in the YouTube, sir, have an acknowledgement that you are listening to the lectures daily. Just put, sir, I am following, or some comments regarding that. Especially I am saying to the regular batch students, whether you have studied either this batch or last batch, that will create an accountability for you. This I am not saying for, sir, instead of you updating me in the WhatsApp, update me in the YouTube. For this NSR e-commerce, right? Sir, in the comments. Sir, for this there is no benefit for the ANM classes, man. Sir, when we will get benefit? Subscribe the channel, share the channel, that and all altogether different. Okay, like the channel, that and all will be altogether different. What I am saying is, anyway we are putting the content in the YouTube. So instead of, it's like a double work I am doing. You are updating me in the WhatsApp. I have to respond to the WhatsApp. So make it accountable for the regular students that, sir, keep, if you are following and listening to the lectures, sir, update your thing. Sir, I have studied this. I am here like that. That will really motivate you and also for me to track you, especially what I am saying. Now the direct tax live is going on. Nearly we had 200 of students for direct tax CA final. So those guys should not lose the track. If you are commending means, if 10 students commending means, sir, it will create a fear for the remaining people that, oh, அவங்களாம் பார்க்கறாங்க, நானும் ஆட்டோமேட்டிக்கா பார்க்கணும் அப்படிங்கிறது திருப்பியும் தெளிவா சொல்றேன். இதுல எனக்கு எந்த ஸ்பெசிஃபிக்கான பெனிஃபிட்டும் கிடையாது. பட் நீங்க சார் சேனல் எடுத்து ஸ்டேட்டஸ் போடுங்க, 10 பேருக்கு அனுப்புங்க, 10,000 பேருக்கு சொல்லுங்க. அது எல்லாமே என்ன சார் லைக் பண்ணுங்க, ஷேர் பண்ணுங்க, பெல் ஐக்கனை கிளிக் பண்ணுங்க. அதுல எல்லாமே என்ன இருக்குன்னா சார் பெனிஃபிட் உண்டு. அது இல்ல நான் சொல்ல மாட்டேன். ஏன்னா 10 பேருக்கு தெரிய வரும். இது நான் சொல்றேன் ஸ்டடி ஸ்டடி ரிலேட்டடான விஷயத்தை நான் பேசுறேன், அதுல நீ கீப் ஆன் ட்ராக்ல இருந்துக்கோ. So tomorrow will be என்ன சார் completing the 12 part, and when you are revising this section 12, place of supply is a kit area this time for inter and also for final. Hello sir.
Yes sir.
Will be testing in examination, sure shot will be testing in examination. So have a revision of that area and listen to the next lecture. Tomorrow we'll be completing section 12 and 13 will be there only for final. So we'll take a 1 day break for inter and we'll be continuing section 13. So update your progress last 30-40 days, I think. I don't know whether we can say it as 30-40 days also. Today itself I think 25th, so another 5 days in this month and 30 days in this month. Sir, we are supposed to amend the number of days. Instead of 40 days we are having 37, I think the balance number of days. 37 days are there. 37 days, it's not simply 37. 37 daysல என்ன வேணா நடக்கலாம். ஒருத்தன் செத்து போலாம், ஒருத்தன் பிறக்கலாம், ஒருத்தன் உயிரோடு இருக்கலாம், ஒருத்தன் சார் பிச்சைக்காரன் பணக்காரன் ஆகலாம், பணக்காரன் பிச்சைக்காரன் ஆகலாம், என்ன வேணா ஆகலாம், சாவில் கல்யாணம் கூட நடக்கலாம். So 37 daysல என்ன நடக்க போகுதுன்னு நம்மளால சொல்ல முடியாது. What is our responsibility, you know? We should not think about tomorrow, we have to think about today. As today, yesterday I have done the best. அவ்வளவுதான் பண்ண முடியும்பா. ஐசி எக்ஸாம் வச்சா நம்ம என்ன பண்ண முடியும்? ஒன்றும் பண்ண முடியாது. தூக்கு போட்டு சாவ முடியும்? முடியாது. ஸோ என்ன சார், என்னால் என்ன பெஸ்ட் கொடுக்க முடியுமோ அந்த ப்ரொடக்டிவிட்டியை ஒரு நாள் இன்க்ரீஸ் பண்ணிட்டே இருங்க. சார் நான் நேற்று 8 மணி நேரம் படித்தேன் சார், இன்னைக்கு நான் 10 மணி நேரம் எஃபெக்டிவாக படிக்க ட்ரை பண்ணுவேன் சார். அப்படி இந்த சர்க்கிள்குள்ள இருந்தாலே 100 டாபிக்ல ஒரு 60 to 70 டாபிக் என்ன ஒன்றா கிளியர் ஆகும். இப்போ இந்தியாவே ஃபேஸ் பண்ற ப்ராப்ளம் என்னன்னா, no one has completed the lectures, no one has started revising. This is a common problem facing NSR throughout India because everyone expected the extension, even though ICS not guaranteed any extension. நம்மளா நினைச்சுக்கிட்டது கரெக்டா? ஸோ அதுக்கு ஐசிஐ என்ன கிடையாதுன்னா தப்பு கிடையாது. நம்மளா நினைச்சுக்கிட்டோம் எக்ஸ்டெண்ட் ஆகும் அப்படின்னு நினைச்சுக்கிட்டோம். இன்னைக்கு அவங்க கண்டிப்பா எக்ஸாம் வைக்கிறேன்னு சொல்லும்போது நம்ம மாட்டிக்கிறோம், வேற எதுவும் இல்லை. ஸோ த காம்படிஷன் இஸ் பிட்வீன் தோஸ் ஹூ ஆர் கம்ப்ளீட்டிங் அண்ட் ரிவைசிங் மோர். அப்போ நிறைய பேர் அதுலேயே மென்டல் ஸ்ட்ரெஸ் ஆக வாய்ப்பு இருக்கு. அந்த மாதிரி மென்டல் ஸ்ட்ரெஸ் எல்லாம் ஆக வேண்டிய அவசியம் இல்லை. எதுக்கு சிஏ படிக்கிற? நிறைய சம்பாதிக்கிறதுக்கு. நிறைய சம்பாதிச்சுட்டு என்ன பண்ண போறேன்? சந்தோஷமா இருக்க போறேன். அதுவே இல்லைன்னா எதுக்கு 37 நாள் படிக்கிறேன் நான் கேட்கிறேன். ஸோ have a என்ன சார் கிளியர் கட் டிராவல். நம்மளால என்ன பண்ண முடியுமோ அது பண்ணுங்க. நீ ப்ரெஷர் பண்ணதுனால நான் போர்ஷன் கம்ப்ளீட் பண்ண போறது இல்லை. எப்போ முடியுமோ அப்போதான் முடியும். அதே மாதிரி தான் நீயும் ப்ரெஷர் பண்ணதுனால நீ படிச்சு முடிக்க போறது இல்லை. நம்ம 40 days படிச்சுட்டே இருப்போம், அழகா படிப்போம், ஒரு நாளும் என்ன சார் இம்ப்ரூவ் பண்ணுவோம். வில் மீட் அட் த அப்ரோப்ரியேட் டைம். தேங்க்யூ, பை பை ஃப்ரம்